Since our first sprint, our problem description has evolved to center around the familiarization problem students experience at the rush of the new semester of courses by reconnecting them with friends with as little overhead as possible. From our three initial approaches, we decided that our schedule sharing app is the most unique and applicable solution to our overarching problem. The app would focus on providing a platform for students to easily update a living course schedule visible to friends to cross-check shared classes and free time with as little hassle as possible. After researching privacy laws and regulations relevant to our app, we concluded that the best way to source schedule data was directly from students in combination with publicly accessible course databases from Georgia Tech. In terms of competitive research, the overwhelming majority of users used existing analog solutions like texting, which is extremely inefficient during fast-changing registration cycles. Apps like CourseSchool do not offer schedule sharing. Google Calendar is far too generalized, and Let Us Meet requires repetitive data input. Therefore, we concluded that our approach was optimal as other approaches required unreliable crowdsourced data and had too many successful alternatives, such as the Georgia Tech Handbook and Quark.
Since our app involves getting and sharing student schedule, we need to be careful with ways of data collection because of privacy concerns. Through domain research on internet and feedback from user interviews, we decided to use a publicly accessible course schedule provided by Georgia Tech and let user browse and edit their schedules. Also, to circumvent privacy policy, we are only going to use data provided by users. Regarding personal privacy, we interviewed several students and they all said they would like to only share schedule with friends, so we limited our visibility to friends only.
Our most important use case was users having the ability to quickly determine if any of their friends are currently taking any of the same classes as them. So we have this story here where Billy, a Georgia Tech college student, is starting a new semester. He's wondering what classes he registered for, have his friends also registered for. So he downloads and opens the Schedule Pal mobile app. So we're able to determine if his friends are taking any of the same classes as him. He builds his own schedule within the app by searching for and adding classes. After he finishes building a schedule and has added all of his friends through the app, he's able to click on a friend's name and be presented with what classes he shares with his friend. From a value proposition perspective, this app would allow college students to easily discover any similar classes their friends are taking as well, which can reduce the stress and anxiety that comes from starting a new semester and trying to take classes with their friends. Reaching out to friends for their schedules and availability is pretty tedious, and this app would streamline this task. The primary customers are college students themselves, as they will have the most value from this accessible information. Another customer would also be people that will like access to a college student's schedule, such as a parent.
For this sprint, we decided to conduct our interviews through Google Forms created and shared with our peers. Through our responses, we gathered a majority, if not all, of our respondees said that they share their schedules through text, that it can be inconvenient to ask multiple people for their schedules individually, and that they would use an app to make it easy to share their class schedule with others. For this sprint, we made our prototype using Draw.io and tested it by stepping through it with peers. The feedback we received included a reworking of the access to the friends list, integration of a third-party sign-in, and consistent usage of the bottom navigation bar. For our next sprint, we want to fully flesh out our mockup into a clickable prototype on Figma, and we want to focus on improving our design upon the feedback received from this sprint's testing and the testing we would conduct in the future. From next sprint, we want to learn about the shortcomings that our design presents to potentially active users, as well as how we might be able to keep them using our app. We also want to learn about any possible features we could include that would expand our user base beyond just GT college students.